Hello, Assalamu alaikum, good morning, and welcome to all those who just got tuned in. You're watching World This Morning with Shiza Hashmi on the 16th of December. Now, for the regular viewers, you know, we always meet you on weekdays, but we had to meet you today on this Sunday, on the 16th of December, because, ladies and gentlemen, this day, as monumental as it is also a very tragic and horrific day in the history of our country, in the history of the entire world, indeed. This was the day when the enemy of the nation attacked souls who were innocent, who had not done anything to harm them, and who were unarmed. The only arm they had to themselves was a pen, was a school bag. And there were more than 140 small, little innocent children, along with some of their teachers as well, who got martyred by the enemy of this nation just for the sake of nothing. And it is because of those innocent souls who sacrificed their lives in the line of nation that today a lot of students have the courage, the energy to prove the enemy wrong, and nothing has deterred the resolve of our young students to go back to school, to study, to educate themselves, and to make our country, Pakistan, a better place to live in. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a special transmission, and today we are paying tribute to all the martyrs of the APS attack, which happened on the 16th of December in 2014. Indeed, a horrific day. And I pay salute and a huge tribute to all the mothers and fathers of the martyrs, to the siblings of the martyrs, to the friends of the martyrs who witnessed everything. And may our prayers always be with you, and may you have the courage to deal with this throughout your life. I know nothing matters, our words mean nothing, but we're all here for you. And the sacrifice of your kids mean everything to Pakistan. On this special day, ladies and gentlemen, luckily enough, we have been joined by two families who are very courageous and very brave to come on our show and speak about their beloved kids who are both martyrs, who are shaheeds for Pakistan. And today we will be discussing their personalities, how amazing the kids were, and did that actually deter the resolve of their sibling or probably friends of not going to school anymore? And are the students of Pakistan or the teachers of Pakistan scared of schools, or are they still, completing their mission? We'll talk about everything, so stay tuned for the next 2 hours. And without further ado, I think it is time to introduce my guests over here. So on my right-hand side, the first courageous and brave family, ladies and gentlemen, the family of Shaheed Rafiq. The father and the mother, both of them are here with us. On my right-hand side, we have been joined by the father of Shaheed Rafiq, Mr. Abid Raza Bangash. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm good.
Welcome, sir. Thank you so much for being with us on this day. And we absolutely, we're here with you. We're here to listen to you and speak with you as well. And I know this is such an important day, and thank you for sharing this day with us, sir. Now, moving on, the mother of Shaheed Rafiq is here with us as well, Ms. Shazia Abid. Assalamu alaikum, ma'am. Welcome to the show.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you.
And the second family, the brave, courageous family that we have, is of Shaheed Zain with us. Both of them were students of APS Peshawar. And the mother of Shaheed Zain also happens to be a teacher at the girls' branch of APS Peshawar as well. So on my right-hand side again, next to the family of Shaheed Rafiq, we have been joined by family of Shaheed Zain. Miss Iffat Iqbal, Assalamu alaikum, ma'am. How are you?
Wa alaikum assalam. Fine.
Thank you so much for sharing this day with us, ma'am. It's absolutely our pleasure. And next to Miss Iffat is the father of Shaheed Zain, Mr. Muhammad Iqbal. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you? Now, to begin with, again, I have to say thank you, and this is to pay tribute to the sacrifices of young kids. Now, to start with Shaheed Rafiq over here, sir, how old was he? What class was he in? And how do you usually spend this day?
First of all, I would like to thank the management and PTV staff and your producer and yourself.
Thank you, sir.
For remembering and paying such a great tribute to our kids. How do we spend this day? It's a day we don't find any words which can encompass or express the grief and the pain which this day holds.
Of course, sir.
I mean, my son, first of all, I never use past tense for my son.
Okay, sir. We'll keep that in mind, and we won't either.
Because Shaheed never died.
In fact.
And they're with us here right now.
Yes, of course.
He's a brilliant child, a very courageous, very caring, very kind to the poor, very religious. I mean, he has all the qualities. He was an extraordinary child. He is an extraordinary child, and you know, it's not only 16th December.
Yeah.
Since 4 years, every day, we pass through the same grief and the pain, which is going to be carried on
Throughout
till
your
the
lives.
death.
Of course.
But on the other side, we are proud that our kids faced those brutal people with courage
Yes.
and sacrificed for this country.
Indeed.
Though it was unwanted sacrifice, you can say that, because it was not planned, and they were not soldiers.
Indeed, sir.
They had pen in their pockets. When I received the body of Rafiq and many more students, they had pens in their pockets. They never had bullets or guns with them.
Of course, sir. Of course.
So this sacrifice
Was
is uncalled for and uncomparable with any other sacrifice.
Indeed. Indeed.
And we are proud.
Sir, we're all proud, and again, thank you so much for joining us on this day. Now, Ms. Shazia, let's talk more about Mr. Shahid Rafiq's personality. Is he the eldest of the siblings?
Yes, he was the eldest child, yeah.
And all of the siblings were studying in the same school?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is he like? Is his personality? Is he like really caring of his siblings, and is he really bossy around them?
No, he was very much friendly with his brother. As my husband said, that he was an extraordinary child. He was really loving, caring, and he was really obedient child. Yes.
So
And
you
he,
mentioned
know,
that he had a younger brother. He has a younger brother indeed. So he studies in the same school.
Yes.
He used to. And was he there on the day?
Yes, he was in 6th grade at that time.
Okay.
Yes.
And Shahid Rafiq was in what grade?
10th grade.
Oh, okay. A matric student.
Matric student,
Okay,
yeah.
very nice, very nice. So moving on to Ms. Ifat over here. Ms. Ifat, you're a teacher yourself in the girls' branch, right?
Yes.
Are you still a teacher over there, or you
No,
resigned?
I resigned since 2 years.
2 years ago you resigned. Okay. So talking about Shahid Zain, is he the youngest of the siblings?
First of all, thank you for your management.
Thank you,
that
ma'am,
you
for coming.
remember this day. The 16 December is only day for, I think so, for the world. But every day is 16 December for us.
Indeed.
Not only me, every martyr, the family of every martyr. The 16 December is every day is 16 December.
Indeed.
And if you want to ask about Zain Iqbal, so I can write a book on Zain personality.
Wow.
Because he is very brilliant, very caring, loving child, as well as a brilliant student, and very much famous among their teachers. And he was very fond of bio.
Okay.
And
What
want
grade
to
was he
become-
in? What was he studying?
He was from KG to 2nd year in this APS.
Okay.
And always he got first position
Wow,
in
that's
every
brilliant.
exam. In board exam, he was also got highest marks.
Oh, wow. mashallah.
About 490 marks in first year.
Brilliant, brilliant.
But I think so because he was an extraordinary student. So his, you can say his shahadat is also an extraordinary.
Indeed, ma'am, it is. Indeed. It is incomparable.
Yes, he was a very squash player, and I'm not only the mother of Zain Iqbal, because I served in APS about 18 years. So every martyr is my child.
Right.
My
indeed.
child, I think so, because they are all my children. They are my kids. They are my student. And I know each and every student, and I love core of my heart these students.
Right.
Thank you.
Now, moving on to Mr. Iqbal, sir, you were living abroad, but in that time, for that period, kuch dino ke liye aap aaye hue the Pakistan, right? And you were living in Peshawar, both of your families, of course. So, you were the one who rushed to the school. Aap lene gaye the Shaheed Zain ko. Can you discuss with us only if you're comfortable?
बहुत मुश्किल काम है. हम गेट के बाहर थे और अंदर एक क़यामत थी. वो फीलिंग तो वो जो पेरेंट्स वहाँ मौजूद थे वो ही बता सकते हैं आपको.
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल सर.
और दूसरा बंदा महसूस नहीं कर सकता है कि क्या हो रहा है.
जी सर.
जहाँ हम खड़े थे वहाँ पे कुछ पेरेंट्स को मुख्तलिफ हॉस्पिटल से फ़ोन आ रहे थे.
अच्छा.
तो जब फ़ोन आता तो हम एक दूसरे को दिलासा देते कि आप सब्र करें. तो 3-4 फ़ोनों के बाद मेरा नंबर आ गया. बस फिर हमारे लिए वो वहाँ से CMH जाना बहुत मुश्किल हो गया.
जी.
वो डेली तो जल्दी आ जाता था, उस दिन CMH नहीं आ रहा था.
रास्ता ही लंबा हो गया पूरा. So, Ms. Ifat, coming back to you. So, Shaheed Zain was in the auditorium. Now, before that, let me just paint a picture for all the viewers over there. It was early around 10:30 in the morning on the 16th of December when the innocent children were all in school, a lot of them in the auditorium. There was a drill, first aid drill going on. The teachers and some trainers were providing first aid training to all the students so that in case anything happens, in case of any emergency, they should know what to do. And the rest of the students, some of them were in classrooms, some of them had their exams going on, including Shaheed Zain, right?
Yes.
So they were in the labs as well. And around 10:30, 6 men clad in, black turbans just sort of climbed the walls of the school, entered the territory of the school and started shooting with their AK-47s, their pistols and whatnot without seeing what came in their way. Indeed, a horrific and terrible day in the history of Pakistan. But that was the day, ladies and gentlemen, when all the politicians and the stakeholders came on the same page and chalked out the National Action Plan, after which, of course, we are trying to make Pakistan a better place. It is due to the sacrifices of those young ones that today Pakistan is a better place. And they proved that terrorism has nothing to do with Pakistan or Islam. Everyone is as exposed to it as Pakistanis or those students were. So, coming back to you, Mr. Abid, over here. Now, when we're talking about Shaheed Rafiq, he was in the auditorium receiving the training, right?
Yeah.
When all of this happened.
Yeah.
So, can you recall the incident? I mean, I don't want you to, of course, paint the grim picture of whatever happened, but that training, were you already informed that there's going to be a training in the morning and all of the students will be there?
It was not called for an event over there at that day. We were not informed about this training.
Okay.
Nothing, nobody informed us that there will be some training going on. It was unplanned activity over there.
Okay.
And I don't know why it was planned on that day. There's a big question mark, but still, for that we have been struggling for the last 4 years, and we are thankful to the Chief Justice, Mr. Saqib Nisar, for at least listening to our grievances and forming a judicial commission to carry out the inquiry, what happened really on that day and who was behind that
Right.
whole incident,
Right.
and what was the motive behind that.
Right.
Because without motive, nobody carries out nothing. There must be somebody behind this, whoever they are. And most of the people ask us, why you're after this inquiry all the time, wherever you go and you were demanding inquiry and the judicial commission. And I just tell them that, look, whether this inquiry is carried out or not, my son is not going to come back.
Of course.
But we are we are demanding this to make the future generation safer
Definitely.
in this country. Because whoever,
Rafiq's siblings safer for the future.
Rafiq's siblings, our kids, the coming generation,
Right. What a beautiful picture of Shahid Rafiq over here.
yeah, they are. See?
Yes,
He's
mashallah.
such a beautiful soul,
Indeed, sir.
such a beautiful, intelligent soul. He's a topper,
Wow.
very beautiful.
Now, sir, Ms. Shazia, to you as well, and Ms. Sifat and Mr. Iqbal as well. Were you fearful of sending your children back to school after the schools reopened?
See, there is always a hidden fear after that incident, not only with the parents of the Shuhada of APS, but all the parents. But thanks God now, after their sacrifice, after 16 December, the country has peace, harmony, and now we are glad that our generation, our students, our siblings, our kids, they fearlessly go to the schools.
Yes, absolutely, sir. And you know, when this happened, so this was the 16th of December, and I was in my university, and I was attending my class, and my mother called me, and she goes on, are you watching the news? What's happening? And I was studying media, so I was always onto the news and everything, and I was not sure of what was happening. So we played news in the class on the projector. And of course, we were shocked, we were stunned, and after that, we were so fearful we did not want to vacate the building of our university. I was a hostelite, my family was in Multan, and we were being trained of how to hide yourselves in the closets or the cupboards or under the beds and everything. It was so fearful, a wave of terror and fear all across the country, I know that. But then again, you mentioned that Rafiq's siblings were, after 3 months, right, they went back to school.
Yeah.
You guys were fearful, but the kids were not. How courageous are they?
No, I was like, it was so encouraging to see those kids who were going, and they were waiting for their schools to get reopened, and they go to the schools
Without any fear.
Without any fear. And you won't believe it, I asked my younger son Martyrs, I said, do you want to go to school, to that same school again?
Yeah.
He said, yes, Baba. My brother sacrificed
Wow.
his life for this education, and I'm going to carry out that legacy. I'm not afraid of. We are not afraid of these threats, and that's why at that time he also told me that we are going to fight this terrorism with pens.
It is of course coming at the expense of the life of their brother. Of course, why would they be fearful?
They were not fearful, and
Wow.
the day APS opened again, it was totally a different situation over there. Everybody has that seed, that courage, and every student was like, no, we will, and we are going to tell these people, those elements who are going to, who tries to, terrify us,
Yeah.
and wants us to leave the schools. We will go to the schools.
Wow, this was an answer in the faces of the enemies, of
Yes.
course. Now, Ms. Sifat, you, while this incident happened, you were teaching, of course. You were a teacher back then in the girls' school. So, did you have any connections in the boys' branch, and how did you find out about this?
I called Mrs. Qazi at once when I
Who was the principal?
Yes, the
Okay.
principal, Mrs. Tahira Qazi, Shaheed Mrs. Tahira
Shaheed.
Qazi. I called her, and she told me that I don't know what is happening in this building right now. So after that, Zen favorite verses are कौन कहता है मौत आई तो मर जाऊंगा, मैं तो दरिया हूँ समंदर में उतर जाऊंगा. So जब वो ये पसंद ये करता था कि मैं तो दरिया हूँ समंदर में उतर जाऊंगा, तो मेरा ख्याल है कि और शहीद never die, you know this thing.
He
तो वो
courageously embraced his
yes,
martyrdom.
yes. और अगर कोई ये समझे कि इसके बाद हम डर गए हैं, डरते तो हम पहले भी नहीं थे. अल्लाह ताला का शुक्र है, जिसको अल्लाह पे यकीन होता है, who believe in God, वो कभी भी नहीं डरता.
And wow, ma'am, these are the medals and certificates of Shaheed Zain on the screen right
Yes, yes. I told you that
He's an achiever.
he is topper,
now? Right.
and
And he had a lot of
He
medals
is
and
lo-
certificates,
yes.
of course, to his name.
Not only in academics,
Yeah.
he is also very much fond of extracurricular activities.
wow.
He is the player of squash even.
Okay, very
तो,
nice.
and बहुत बहुत टाइम मैनेजमेंट उसकी होती थी कि वो स्कूल स्टडीज़ और अपनी गेम्स को पैरेलल लेकर चले और सिर्फ मैंने आई थिंक दिस इज़ नॉट ओनली द यू कैन लॉस ऑफ माइंड
Yeah.
ऑफ फैमिली
Yeah.
इट इज़ द लॉस ऑफ पाकिस्तान आल्सो
Absolutely, ma'am.
क्योंकि इसने
Definitely.
रिसर्च करनी थी बायो पे और
And he was
the
in the
brutal
biolab as
attack.
well at that moment.
Yes,
He was
he
undergoing
was
an
in
exam.
biolab, and biolab is only for that day, only for reserve only 16 December.
Okay.
And he was giving his chemistry paper over there. और उसके कुछ क्लास फेलोज ने मुझे बताया कि जैन और उसके कुछ फ्रेंड्स जो थे they want to catch that man कि इसको पकड़ लेते हैं इस आदमी को. आई थिंक सो कि वो फिर फ्रंट में आया तो उसे जो है वो he had bullet on his legs
Okay.
and one bullet in chest.
Okay.
So it is very much you can say brave act अगर उसने ऐसा किया है
Indeed
तो
it is, ma'am, of
तो
course.
दिस इज़ वेरी मच ब्रेव एक्ट एंड और दूसरी बात ये कि उसने सीने पे गोली खाई है
Right.
पीछे से नहीं छुप के
Not
नहीं.
like a coward, of course, of
Yes.
course. We're so proud of the sacrifices. Ma'am, words are less for, I don't have any words to speak about it. But, I was reading stories of the students, the survivors, and because they're so innocent, they were not even sure of what's going on. Someone said that there's a marriage hall right, very close by to the school.
Yes,
And they thought maybe there's a wedding going on, that's why the bullets, are, the noise and everything. Someone said that maybe this is a part of the training, the first aid training that is going on. So now to launch an attack on such innocent people who could not even figure out what was going on.
Majority students were thought that this is the part of that training. That is the part of training, and we are also giving first aid training to the students.
Yeah.
That's why students were thought that this is the part of training, and this is the activity like a drill activity is going
Right.
in the college.
Right, and they were not sure,
Yes,
of course.
they are not sure. Yes.
Okay, so Mr. Iqbal, शहीद जैन मैम ने बताया कि वो स्क्वॉश खेलना चाहते थे और उनकी बहुत ज़्यादा रिसर्चर बनना चाहते थे बड़े होके. उनकी क्या एस्पायरेशंस थी कि वो माशाल्लाह पोजीशन होल्डर थे, टॉपर थे, आगे जाके क्या करना चाहते थे, उनके फ्यूचर गोल्स क्या थे?
डॉक्टर बनना चाहते.
Okay, वो बायो पर थे, he wanted to be a
जी.
doctor. Okay, brilliant. And all of his siblings, Miss Ifat, they also graduated from the same school earlier, you mentioned.
Yes.
So did they ever go back to that school, to visit that school? And did
Yes.
either of you?
Yes, I used to go. First few days it was very much difficult for me, but because I am the part of administration too, and the Adam block was destroyed completely. You know this thing, the boys. I'm talking about
Okay.
the boys' college.
Okay.
तो मुझे बहुत दफ़ा boys' college जाना पड़ा, and I make list for the Martyrs because they were student of board either.
Okay.
इसके भी थे intermediate के भी मैट्रिक के भी. तो I made list और I go you can say this is very much painful for me at this time also that I describe you. How can I
I'm so sorry,
describe
ma'am.
you
I'm so
this
fine.
thing?
You know what? We will not talk about this anymore.
Yes.
So coming on to you, Mr. Abid over here. Now, one of Rafiq's siblings wrote a poem for him.
Yeah.
So what is his name as well, so that I mention on TV?
His name is Martyrs.
Martyrs. Okay. So Martyrs, this is from you to your brother, and I'm going to recite it out. He writes, the three brothers who were the soulmates of each other, kind, caring, and compassionate, they three were brothers. I know they are in heaven, laughing and playing together, looking to us and smiling. Oh, our brother Murtajas, we never have left each other. I am sure they will be in heaven with Hussein ibn Ali and the kings of heaven. You three are my brothers, Rafiq, Mubin, Yasin. You will always be my brothers. So beautifully written. The purity in the writing, sir, of course. How old is Murtajas?
He is in metric now, 15.
And has he been your, support? Is he the courage, the backbone of your family now?
Yeah, he is very courageous. Um,
He
And I'm sure
consoles-
he brings the bravery factor
Yes.
to your family,
Whenever
right?
we are in the state of agony or despair, he consoles us,
Wow.
Yeah, he's really mature.
Mashallah, he's so brave,
Yeah,
mashallah.
he's so brave.
So both of your families shifted from Peshawar after the incident.
yeah.
Yes.
Of course, I don't even want to discuss how traumatic must it be to live there and revisit all those places. But where are you living right now?
I'm living in Rawalpindi, Bahria town.
Okay, and you, Miss Ifat?
In Bahria town.
Okay,
Rawalpindi,
perfect.
yes.
So now let's talk about Rafiq, okay? Now, since I've mentioned about Zain as well, he wanted to be a doctor. What were the aspirations of future goals of Shahid Rafiq?
Rafiq, he wanted to be a neurosurgeon.
Wow.
He was also he's the topper of his class, and you won't believe it, when he was in matric. Matric students, they are looking for, oh, what will I do in the first year? How will I? Which college will I select for?
Yeah.
He never had this thing in his mind. He was looking for medical colleges, even
Okay.
from matric. He was so sure about himself that he was going to clear his FSC with a good
Right.
mind. He's going to go to the medical college.
Wow.
So he used to discuss with me about the medical. Baba, are you medical college? King Edward, this medical college. This Baba, I want to this. I will go to this college. I used to tell him, okay, fine, Bicha. When you
When the time
graduate
comes.
we will find better college for you. Whichever you want, we will go to that college. And he was so brilliant, and he had, I don't know, maybe they knew it, or there was something. When we look back at things, events before 16 December,
Yeah.
a day
There was
before
some
his-
change in his personality, yes.
was
Really?
pretty
Like what?
changed.
You could tell?
Yeah. Now we are thinking about, when a night before his shahadat, we were sitting together, me and his mother, and he was there. And sometimes the parents, they tell their kids, oh, I told him, Rafiq,
You will get married and
you get married, and then I said you will have a wife who will tell you that, oh, your Baba is too old, and just you go.
Making
And he
jokes
said-
around the family.
And he said, no, Baba. He got a little bit,
Offended.
Yeah, and he said, no, Baba, it's my promise we will live together for the whole life. I will never leave you.
Wow.
Yeah, so the same thing happened, yes. Rafiq is everywhere. Rafiq is with us all the
never-
time.
He is always with us.
Do you feel his presence?
Yes, even now he is with me. I can still feel his tender face. Yes, I can smell him.
Miss Ifat, do you feel Zain's presence around you all the time?
Very much.
Indeed, because they live forever.
I
There's
can't
no
see-
death to a
I
shaheed.
can't see the picture of Zain, because when I see the picture, I talk to him.
Exactly, she said, yes.
And this
She's
is
right.
very much difficult for me to see in picture his smile.
Okay. So now, you mentioned that Rafiq wanted to be a doctor. After that, have any of his siblings sort of took on his dream? Do they say that we want to be a doctor, or we want to do what Rafiq wanted to do? Because he was a role model for them, right?
You see, Murtaja's, he is also topper.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's topper. When he was in APS, he was topper, and now he is in AQ Khan, he is the topper.
Wow.
And he is something like into this aerospace engineering top
Oh,
sort
that's
of things.
interesting.
And I said, okay, fine, you can't force the kids.
Of course not, of course.
So I said, whatever you want to do, that's fine. But I'm happy. I was afraid that he's going to lose courage after after his brother, but no, he gives us courage.
Right.
You know, we get courage from him.
Right, absolutely. And Miss Ifat, Miss Shazia, and Mr. Iqbal and Mr. Abid over here as well, right after the incident happened, the government of Pakistan sort of, sent some of the survivor students to China because, of course, all of them were very traumatic and they needed a change. The then Prime Minister decided to name schools after all the Shuhada.
Yeah.
And this was indeed a very positive gesture in line of the Shahadas that took place. But being a parent, I am not even going to ask you if you can ever overcome the trauma, of course. But the students, again, they're so fearless. Ma'am, do you see, I'm talking about all the students of Pakistan, not only, Zain and Rafiq's siblings. They're fearless, they have given an answer to the enemy. Do you think anything can deter the resolve of them now, starting with you, Ms. Sifat? Do you think that such incidents will ever stop them from, achieving their goals?
No, not at all. Because I think so after this after the happening of this incident, the student is more
Strong. Right.
Nowadays they are very much prepared for these incident, and they are much stronger than 16 December.
Right.
दूसरा ये कि यहाँ मैं ये कहना चाहूँगी कि इस तरह का ब्रूटल अटैक कमज़ोर नहीं कर सकता कब मुसलमान को, नॉट ओनली इन पाकिस्तान, जहाँ कहीं भी दुनिया में मुसलमान है, ये वाली चीज़ मुसलमान को कम से कम कमज़ोर नहीं कर सकती, क्योंकि हर जिंदा को मौत का मज़ा चखना है, मरना है, जाना है, तो फिर इस तरह क्यों ना जाएं.
And what's better than being, martyred?
बिल्कुल. Rafiq was also my student in class 5.
Oh, okay.
तो आप खुद देखें कि ये वाले स्टूडेंट्स जो हैं ये मुझे बच्चों की तरह अजीज़ हैं.
Yes, of course.
तो फिर जब जो चीज़ मैं जैन के लिए या जैन सिबलिंग्स के लिए मांगूंगी, मैं वही सब बच्चों के लिए. तो हम इन बच्चों को 6 दिसंबर 6 सितंबर जो था, वो उसमें हमारे बच्चों का कहीं नाम नहीं लिया गया. क्यों? Because 6 September is announced. 6 September is announced not only Yom Difa, it is also a Yom Shohada.
Yes, of course.
What about the Shohada of APIs?
AP, of course, all the martyrs are always in our heart. And if you're watching this, Waleed, you are the pride of Pakistan. And no award can ever match the sacrifice that you went through. You were a survivor, mashallah. We're so proud of you. Now, on this point, ladies and gentlemen, we're headed out to a small package that we made for you. Stay tuned, watch this, and then we will be back in conversation with these brave families.
16 December was a brutal and horrifying day in the history of our beloved country. It was a day of mourning not only for the parents of 144 innocent souls, but for the whole nation. This day proved a turning point for the stability and peace for the coming generation and for the country. After this day, there is peace and harmony in the country. The coming generation has a new commitment and resolve to fight against terrorism with pens and not bullets. Parents feel safe to send their kids to school without any fear of being target of any unwanted elements. We hope that our country will become more strong and stable in the future to come. To uplift the morale and spirit of the students and victims of the school, the Chief of Army Staff, General Raheel Sharif himself attended the morning assembly of the school and confirmed them that no such incident will ever occur in Pakistan again. APS terrorist attack could not shatter confidence of our armed forces. Rather, it cemented their resolve to fight against terrorism till last drop of blood. The sacrifices of students of APS Peshawar have ushered new vistas of bravery and resilience of our nation in fight against terrorism. The whole nation came close and stood together to express solidarity with the victims of APS Peshawar attack and overcame frivolous differences to have a wholesome policy to combat terrorism.
And that is indeed true. I remember right after this incident happened on the 16th of December, everyone across the country, they were getting together for prayers and candlelit vigils and whatnot. Were you a part of any of them as well? And were your, friends, family friends and everyone sort of managing to hold prayers as well?
Yeah, after 16th, first of all, for a month we were in a state of shock.
Yeah.
We didn't.
It was not acceptable.
We couldn't accept what happened, and I still don't accept I don't ever think that Rafiq is not here. You see, and then after that, I'm very thankful and grateful to this nation who remember our kids all the time, and they pay rich tribute to all the kids. After 16th December. Every member of this society, every segment of this society came out of their houses. They lit the candles, they pay vigils, and they joined us in our rallies, and they are keeping alive these kids. And all these things give us courage to live.
Of course, Ms. Ifat, were you a part of all those prayers and vigils as well? Since you are the teacher, of course, I'm pretty sure the students had arranged candlelight vigils and prayers and whatnot as well. I mean, in our university, we had some letters and everything going on, and we were writing our feelings on papers. Were you a part of any of that?
Yes, I am the part of, because my students, they wrote so many poems on the martyr of APS. I have 36 girls in girls' college. That the brothers martyr in the APS college, and they wrote so many poems, so many dialogues on the and they decorate the whole wall of APS Girls College for the for these students, and they display the flowers,
Right.
candles, pictures, and the poems which they wrote.
Wow, and they shared with you as well?
Yes.
Wow, that's
And
brilliant, that's brilliant. Now, you know, towards the end, there's one thing that we need to talk about. So in the beginning of this year, around April, the Chief Justice of Pakistan, Mir Saqib Nisar, visited Peshawar, and a lot of families like you, of course, they visited him and said that our grievances are not answered, we need an investigation team. And that's what he did. He created a judiciary commission, he created an investigation team that is going to probe into the incident, of course, and around 90 people, including the families, the witnesses of the incident, are ready to record their statement. What are you guys expecting from that, one by one, each one of you?
Well, I'm very pessimistic, I think.
So you mentioned at the beginning that you're 50% satisfied.
Yeah,
Do you think
this is why
that
I'm
other
coming to that
50%
point.
is going
I'm
to be
coming
addressed?
to that point
Okay.
because, first of all, the formation of Judicial Commission, that is a landmark in the history.
Yes, indeed.
Then the way it's carried out, the Honorable Justice who is heading the Judicial Commission, he's a responsible person, and I hope, and we are very pessimistic, that we will come to some conclusion about that.
Inshallah.
As I said, that I was 50% satisfied and 50% not yet satisfied, for the reason that 50% the process which is going on is okay, fine, we are comfortable with that, but the rest of the 50% depends on the verdict.
True.
What
The
comes
verdict
out
is
of
yet
this,
to come.
what comes out of this commission, and I hope it doesn't go like a Mahmoud Rahman commission or the Osama bin Laden report,
Right.
were hushed up, and even if it's hushed up, we are not going to keep quiet.
Of course, you need an answer to your questions.
We need an
Now-
answer. Whether we can go to any level. We might go to the International Court of Justice, we might go to the UN, whichever door we see, we will reach there.
Right.
Until and unless we get justice for these kids,
Right.
and safety for the future generation.
Right. Ms. Shazia, what about you? What are you expecting from this commission?
Till now, as you have asked, I'm not satisfied till now.
Okay.
We need justice. And unless we get justice, we can cross any limits, you know.
Justice will be served, inshallah. I'm very pessimistic of that, you know.
Inshallah.
Okay. Anyway, so moving on to Ms. Ifat over here. Ms. Ifat and Mr. Iqbal, yes, optimistic. I'm so sorry about that. So on a closing note, a message to all the families or friends who are associated with these incredible shuhada. This is your camera. Please take a minute and give out your message.
My kids, please don't be afraid and get education, because education is the way, with the help of this, we can defeat our enemy. Thank you.
Mr. Iqbal, our akhri message to all